Hello and welcome to The Connecting Point. I am Dr. Marcy, your facilitator for this discussion today. This is the place where creators connect to inspire, share their ideas and stories to transform the world through raw and unedited talk. And today I am here with two gentlemen that are go-getters, and I'm so proud of them. One of them is my biological son, Jahmori Simmons, and the other is an adopted son, Gregory Edwards, DJ Westside is what they call him, all right? So I welcome you two to The Connecting Point. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, well, I've already pretty much given the connecting point, but I must say the connecting point here is what I just said. They're my sons. One's biological, one's adopted. So that's all you really need to know. I know these people, and I have been seeing their grind for some time. And we're just on here keeping it real today, and hopefully that it will inspire entrepreneurs, Black males, and all types of things that they're doing, and hopefully that you all will grasp some of their strategy. They'll give you a little bit of it, but most of it is work. I will tell you that I do know. So, gentlemen, can you tell a little bit about who you are, where you grew up, and where you are now? Anyone can go first. Who going first? Jahmori, DJ Westside? Where y'all?
Westside.
Originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I grew up in the what's now called the English Avenue area, but it's really Simpson Road, Ashby Street, Bankhead, the west side of Atlanta for the most part. And
DJ Westside, you frozen.
A lot of my motivation and stuff comes from the morning. Oh, mic check.
Okay,
mic check.
I hear you now.
Okay, yeah, so I'm originally from the west side. The west side of Atlanta, Ashby Street, Simpson Road, that area. And like I said, coming up, we didn't have a whole lot. So my motivation always been just to get way outside of the hood for the most part. What else? I just work hard. I've been like that since I was a kid. Like, I've always been creative. My filming, I'm a videographer. We do harp season. We have a building now. Me and Jahmori, we're partners, 50-50 on just about everything that we got going on. And it's 100% work for me for the most part. I don't I put my heart into everything that I do. So I don't really I'm not gonna say I don't think about things, but I kind of just let my heart take me.
Okay, you're frozen again.
Of where I think Jahmori he might have idea to do it. Oh, let me see. Might be.
Now you went away. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. We're back. So I was saying that a lot of my motivation comes from just not having, as a kid, and we not having as much as, my parents provided, but, we lived in the hood and stuff. So it just comes from just being around hustlers, being around people who want more, being around people who want, in my neighborhood, it was like that. It was just, I grew up around, I don't know if I can say, I grew up around what society would call negative influences, but they had hustles and they always grinding. Mm-hmm. So being around those type of people, I always want to have more, make me want to grind hard to get what I want. And a lot of the things that I do just come from the heart. Like I do a lot of things from my heart, and I do a lot of things, I'm an impulsive guy sometimes. So, me and Jahmori might be chilling and we both come up with an idea and boom, let's do it. We do it and we get to working on it. And next thing you know, we got something like Hearts, or we got something like the building that we at now. We got something like, things that we've created from just ideas. So my advice to people and young kids, whatever, would be you know, when you have those ideas and you have those impulses, sometimes don't wait, just go. So, you know, everything doesn't need a plan. Everything doesn't need a plan, but it's good to plan, but everything doesn't need a plan. Sometimes you just gotta get up, you gotta go, and you gotta seize the moment and opportunity.
That's rich. We'll talk a little more about that in a minute. Jahmori, you want to say where you grew up and all that good stuff?
Yeah. So my name is Jahmori. I grew up originally in Atlanta. Then we moved to Douglasville when I got a little older. And I think my motivation just comes from, I like progress. Like, I like seeing progress. I like rewards, but I care more about seeing the stuff progress through. And yeah, that's my motivation. It's just seeing the reward come from the results of work. So yeah.
Well, one thing I admire about both of you is your tenacity, your perseverance, and like you say, your grind or your hustle. Now, I know from a parent standpoint, watching it makes me proud, but also I understand what it requires to get what you have and what you're working towards. And it does require work. And I want to talk a little bit more about that, because a lot of young people, especially in the African-American community, they see us as, you know, the negative, the stereotype. They don't work. They don't want to do anything. They don't want a regular job. But I want you to talk a bit more about, you don't have to punch a clock per se, like on a regular 9 to 5 to have something. You can have passions and dreams, and you can go after them wholeheartedly. So let's talk a little bit about that, the importance of just stepping out on your purpose and your passion. And I think you were alluding to that a moment ago with that you just go with what you're feeling. And that's a good thing too.
Yeah, it could be a pro and a con. It worked, you know, sometimes, well, for me, it worked out. I'll tell you a little bit about how I ended up into going into entrepreneurship. I had a job for about, and in my opinion, I was a great worker because I was already, determined to have something. So I would take that same mentality and attitude to my job, and I would be, giving my input and working hard and just trying my best to, I guess, be influential in the workplace and help other people. But, at the end of the day, when somebody else owns their company, they run it the way they want to. And when you got a boss and
you're breaking up again.
The answer to it's just, can you hear me?
I can now.
What I was saying was I had a job, and I was bringing all of that same energy to the workplace, trying better myself and make things better. But like I said, at the end of the day, when you work for somebody else, they get the last say. So and you have to be there at a certain time. So you could be a incredible worker and come every single day, but the one day you late, they'll make a big deal about it. Or the one day you do one thing outside the ordinary, or something that they don't like, then they might fire you. And then next thing you know, you out here looking crazy. And I just didn't want I didn't want that for myself. But what happened was I had been there about 6 years. I went to work every single day, and I got to a point, I was probably around like 20. I think I had been there since I was like 18 or 19. I was probably around like 24, something like that. And I was like, hey, I want to get out here, and I want to kind of, I want to take a leave of absence to see if I can make something else happen in life. I want to, would y'all grant me that? Would you grant me that? And they was like, no. And at that moment, I had worked so hard. I had did so much for the company. I felt like I had worked late nights. Every time they asked me to work, I came. And I felt like, the least you guys could do is let me go explore and see what I want to do with my life outside, just working here, because I saw so many people there, and people come, people go, people come, people go. And I was just walking on eggshells to try to keep my job, because I thought that was room for growth. But then at that moment, I realized then that I'm just a number, and our personal feelings and our relationships that I thought we had meant absolutely nothing in the eyes of an employer, because they got to do for the company and not for you, even though you might be one of the greatest workers of all time, who knows? But at that moment, I made up my mind. I said, you know what, I can't do it. I'm just gonna go out on a limb. I was already kind of doing my own thing anyway outside of work. So that's another thing I want to kind of touch on. If you do have a job, please start your own business and have something that's going on outside of it, just for your own sake.
Yes, yes.
And I was so after that happened, I ended up going out on the limb. I went on tour with a friend of mine, and what happened was incredible because I ended up making almost quadruple in one day what I made at the job. So after that, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put my full time, my full effort into the things that I want to do. And after I did that, I was making quadruple times what I made at the job almost every other day. So follow your dream, man. Follow your passion. Even if you have a job, I don't knock people who work because, you got to provide for your family or you got to provide for yourself. And sometimes it's easier, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to survive. So, but I strongly advise to keep something else going on because you don't want that day to come where they got to cut staff or got to cut or something goes on with the company that you can't control, and next thing you know, you out of a job or you out of you want to be able to have that security within your own infrastructure, within your own circle, within your own home, or within your own business, to the point where, hey, if they let me go, I still got my business
to fall back on. Yeah, and I have two creators in the house. One you looking at, and the other one is a visual artist. And Jahmori can tell you, I pretty much have told them that have a business. Even the students that I teach, I go in. I said, don't wait till you come out of elementary school. What can you do now? I mean, start something that is allowing you to express yourself and can make you money. Okay. So, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. Jahmori, you want to get some insight, some more pointers on just stepping out on what you have in your heart and making money from it, starting your own business and doing things that are going to catapult you to the next level in your purpose.
Yeah, so me and Westside got similar stories. I know when I was I got my first job in college, and I got I remember when I was there, I applied. The first job I ever applied to was Zaxby's, and
I remember that.
I worked at Zaxby's for 2 minutes, and I quit. I already had in my mind. I was just like, you know what? Like the amount of money, I had to realize that time wasn't really worth. My time isn't worth $10 an hour, $8 an hour. And once I really like grasped that, I was able to get a mindset of like, okay, what do I do? What are my gifts? Like what am I good at? And how can I make money from all of this stuff? Like, and once I did that, I realized that the time, like what I do for myself, I can get paid more than what a company would pay me to work a job. So once I figured that out, I kind of that's when we developed Heart Season. I really sat down and started taking my music seriously and making beats, and opportunity after opportunity came after opportunity. And, it led me being able to make a living for myself.
And, I failed to even mention at the beginning what it is that you do have. We said you have businesses, but Jahmori just mentioned Heart Season. Okay, that is one of them. And it's where these two gentlemen have collaborated. We're going to talk about that too. The power of partnership with like-minded people, or when you can make up for each other's weaknesses in a point that you become a powerhouse. And so they have a company called Heart Season, and these two gentlemen have put both of their skills and talents together, and one of them being videography. Westside does that, and then Jahmori is a harpist. a musician. And so I want you to tell, how did you all discover that you needed to put those two entities together to make a business? What even popped up? What was the conversation like, to say, hey, I know y'all were friends at first, and then something sparked a conversation, I'm sure, about, we got to start a business. What was that? And how did it occur?
Okay, can you hear me?
You're frozen, but I can hear you.
Okay, so from my memory, it was like so J-Mo had already kind of did the test run with Heart Season, and I was already doing production, and I saw it, and I was like, bro, let's make it a production. And me and J-Mo kind of like night and day. Like I'm more like just impulsive, but he might be like, I don't know this side, and that's how we balance out. That's why we are so great of partners, because I'm impulsive and he's like, hey, I don't know this side. How about we, and it works out perfect. So I got impulsive. I was like, man, let's do a production. And we tried a production, and it took a really long time. So, we talked about it afterwards, and he was just kind of like, hey man, let's simplify it. And I was like, okay, cool, let's try it. And we came up with the format that we got now. And the conversation was, it wasn't long. It was more of just, I do this, you do that, let's work. And that's how it pretty much went. And we're about 100 plus videos later, we
yeah.
And thousands later, it's a blessing to be able to get out here and do things that we love to do and make miles.
But before Jahmori interjects here, I'm going to play something that y'all may have forgotten. I remember when this thing was, when you all got ready to launch it. Yes, I do. And I'm going to now show something that maybe will give the audience a little idea of what you did. Hold on a second. I'm going to share my screen in a minute, as soon as I get it up here. But it was, I hope I can get back to it. Okay, here it is. All right, now I'm going to share my screen. But I remember being so proud to even see that you were getting ready to do this thing. So here we go. Let's see if you remember this.
What's up, world? It's your boy, Jahmori. I'm DJ Westside. Hey, man, if you want to book the next Heart Season session with us, make sure you click the link below. We work with a variety of artists, indies to majors, and we would love to have you as a guest on our platform. So make sure you email us, DM us, get in contact with us, and we'll be back as soon as possible. Thank you.
There it is, folks. That's when they first started, and that's, oh Lord, how many years ago now? 2? Is that 2 or 3 years ago?
2 more than likely.
About 2 years ago. But that was your introduction to what you were getting ready to do. Can you give the audience a little insight into this Heart Season? Now, all they know right now is there's a harpist, there's a videographer, but it goes a little deeper than that. How is this out of the box? This is not just your normal videos now. This is an out of the box idea. And so I want you to tell a little bit about, how is this out of the box? What's so different about Heart Season than any other instrumentalist and videographer getting together? What's different about it?
I think for one, it's like the difference between Heart Season and every other platform is, for one, is we show Black faces, we show Black talent. We try our best to take Black musicians, violinists, just on instruments that you don't normally see Black people on. That's one. And then 2, we collaborate with artists that's not usually in a setting of a classical setting. We put it together and we just make Heart Season, and we try. People try to duplicate what we do, but it's special. You know what I'm saying? It's a community gem. It's a local Atlanta favorite. You know what I'm saying? We put our all into it, and it works. And I think that's what makes it unique.
And to be honest with you, nobody can really duplicate what God has given you. And that's why we don't have to be envious or jealous of anybody, because you might do something kind of in that arena, but it will not go off the same way. And so I just thought this was so unique. I'm going to show another video clip so they can see what I'm talking about. These young men, they go out in the street anywhere. It's not always in a studio or in a closed setting. They'll go near a trap house, you know, wherever they got to go to film. And so I pulled up another video where cars are just going down the street. It's a young lady, and I'm sure they can tell me the name of the person, because I don't quite know the name of the person that's singing in this video, but you can kind of get an idea of the type of video. Y'all remember this video?
Oh, yeah.
And where were you at this time? They're outside, of course. Where were you?
That is...
That's Cortland and Auburn Avenue.
Yeah.
Auburn Avenue? Okay.
Cortland Street.
Okay. So this is just a little taste of, let me unmute.
You're in my mental, drive me so crazy. I only think of you, dream of you too. No one I can see me with other than you. Please don't you leave.
Okay, so listen, audience, they give you, and it goes on. There's rappers here, you know, with the poetic vibe, all of that good stuff through harp season. And so this is just an idea of what these young people have put together. You can also find them on any social media platform. I don't know what happened to DJ Westside. He went away. I'll let him back in when he comes back. But Jahmori, can you talk a little bit about some things, since you're here until DJ Westside pops back in, some things that you do musically as well outside of harp season?
Yeah, so I do international production. I've sold, I think me and my partners with that is David Nash and Ian Cook. Together we've been able to sell about close to over 1 million records together. And I do Afro beat production, hip hop production. We work with all kind of African American and pop artists overseas and in Europe and London. So that's what we do.
So you would label yourself as a music producer,
Yes.
composer, arranger, okay? All of those things, instrumentalist, all of those things Jahmori has accomplished from, you know, I remember you saying something to me, I think you were around 8 or 9 years old, and you said, by the time I'm 25, you had some goals. I'm not going to tell them all here, but you had some goals, and he's not quite 25 yet. And so more than half of them have been reached. And so with that being said, how important is it for a young person to have goals?
I mean, I feel like that's the most important thing. You gotta make clear goals for yourself. I know I'm reading a book right now called Think and Grow Rich. I read it when I was younger, but I'm reading it again, and what I'm getting out of it now is the power of a definite chief aim, like having a definite chief aim, like saying exactly what you want and the time you want it, what you're gonna do to get it, and how you want to live your life. And I feel like at a young age, I was blessed to be able to know that, like, as a child. So I've always it's helped me make decisions. Like when I was telling the story about Zaxby's, like that chief aim that I made when I was younger helped me make a decision. Okay, this isn't going in the direction that I want my life to go. So I'm gonna make the decision to try something else out, and I'm gonna put effort into this. So yeah, it's definitely important to have goals set.
And yeah, that I'm glad you mentioned that, because knowing, first of all, who you are helps you make those choices. Like, I can go in a job, and if it's not lining up with what I know I'm to be, then that already gives me an indication to move on, because that's not it. And so I want to say again, I commend you for sticking to the goals that you've had, and still more to come. Also, with all of your accomplishments musically, you have heart. See, I wish DJ Westside could pop back in before I even get to this next point, because he's very instrumental. Let's see if we can get him. I don't know what happened, audience. Y'all know this is raw and unedited, so just hold on, because I don't want to mention this without him being here to discuss it. Let me text him real quick.
He just said it froze. He texted and said it just froze up, and then it went out.
Okay, he can come back in. Tell him to use the same link to come back in, and I can let him back in. But these young men, they keep reinventing themselves, which is also very important as entrepreneurs. You don't get settled in just one aspect of what you do, because there's many things that you have to empty out before you leave this earth. And you usually have more than one thing that you do. For instance, Jahmori was into music as a child. As his mother, I saw that, and I was able to take him to his different lessons or whatnot. Sometimes he didn't like it, but they all, because he didn't. He was taking lessons, violin lessons at Clark Atlanta University when he was still in middle school. Okay, so I had to take him there. He didn't like it. And I want to give a shout out to Miss Romina Georgieva, who had her hand, many people had their hand in this. And we don't want to negate what they've done, but hey, you back. Good. I didn't want to talk about this next thing without you being here.
I'm back.
But I was just mentioning some of the things that Jahmori had done solo as well. And I want to talk to you a little bit about some things that you did solo that you're doing, so the audience can see you don't give up what you do as an individual. When you collaborate, the collaboration makes you stronger and more impactful at what you do. So can you tell a little bit about what your individual thing is that you do? Jahmori's already told his while you were away. So can you do that so we can bridge this together for folk?
Okay, individually, I'm a videographer. Pretty much, I have a real estate company. I'm a realtor as well as an investor, and that's pretty much where a lot of my income comes from, real estate. And what else? I do so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, we got the studio now, so we studio owners. I'm always in the studios. I'm a music consultant, which a lot of people come to me for advice about, how to get their music to the next level, or how to pretty much put their music in rotation at clubs and all of that type of stuff. So yeah, music consultant, real estate, and videography, of course, which is my passion, and harps. So we got about maybe close to 7 incomes.
7 streams. You got a word. Talk about that. 7 streams of income.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to be aiming towards. Not 1, not 2, 7 streams. And y'all don't know it, but I pray that for you all every single day, that we are debt-free, multi-millionaires. Listen, my faith level is up there. it's high, the expectation is high. So I just want the audience to know that you can have your thing that you do, but when you bring them together, it becomes much more powerful. And you can see kind of where I'm headed with this, hopefully. They now have been working diligently on building a studio. And notice I said building. They had a structure, but they had to go in and build up from the structure that they had. So let's talk about that structure, Jahmori and DJ Westside and see, he used some of those real estate skills. I know he did to even get the structure. Am I right? Am I right? I said, I know you used some of those real estate skills to get the structure of the building of that studio.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Uh-huh.
For sure.
Yeah, so that I'm just trying to show people where all these different gifts, they keep evolving. They don't just stop, they keep evolving. And so I was just saying to the audience that you all had the structure, but you had to go in and build.
Yeah, without bad hands.
With your bad hands.
We did a lot of work.
So let's talk about that. That is, I'm just so proud. I'm telling you. And I purposely have not said much about it. I told Jahmori, I guess this week I'm going to go put my foot on the ground. I will be in there to put my foot on the ground in that building. But I purposely stayed away because I try to, stay in my lane. But I'm coming to put my foot and my word on the ground. I'm telling you, I am this week. But anyway, can you tell a little bit about the studio and what are some plans that you have for it? And when are you opening, the grand opening?
Well, we're in like the final stages of everything. 1 second. I'm sorry. 1 second.
Yeah, but yeah, like, I continue what you're saying. We right now we in the finishing stages. We getting equipment in, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna have different people that's interested in videography, music, podcasts. It's just gonna be a place for them to create content, just high level content. We got high quality cameras to record yourself. High quality studio equipment. So it's just going to be a space for just different kinds of creators to come in and just have a place to just have a home to create their content. And it's in a perfect location for that. It's in the middle of the city. It's not in too far into Buckhead, not too far into when we was looking for a building, we were looking for something that was in the city, like in the middle of the city that people could travel to and it could be close to and it could be like a home for them. So that's what we got, and that's what it's gonna end up being.
Time in on that. It was a blessing how we found the building because it's if you know the real estate market right now, it's a lot of demand and low inventory. So it was just a blessing how everything happened. We were searching for a building for a long time, maybe almost 6 months. And we came across this one place just driving. I'm like, hey, let's just stop right here. And I remember me and Jahmori, we was in the car driving, and we stopped at this place that I saw. It was like, it didn't have a space availability sign or none of that. We just saw it. And I stopped it. I was like, let's just stop right here. Because like I said, me, I'm impulsive. I was like, man, stop right here, pull up. We pulled over, whipped over, boom. I went and knocked on the door. This lady came to the door. She was like, hey. I'm like, hey, who's the owner of this building? How do we go about, we want to be somewhere like this. And she was like, well, I'm going to give you, she was really nice. She was like, oh yeah, well, his name is such. I can use number. So she gave me a number. I called him. Nothing was available. It was a bummer because I love the location. I was like, man, this would be perfect. But some months went by and we were still looking, didn't find anything. And then all of a sudden one day he called me. He was like, hey, Greg, I got something available. I want you to come check it out. But now I take that back. First, we looked at one building, and I mean, we looked at one suite, and it was humongous. It was like, I don't even know what we would have did with it. It was so big at that moment. But after that, I think that one got booked. And then months later, he called us back and he had another one. And it was the one that the same lady was in, that the lady was in.
Wow.
Yeah, had moved out. And, you know, and after that, I immediately, when he told me it was available, gave him the money and, you know, we started building.
And, you know, that is a perfect example of when it's right, it's right. It's for you. You don't have to pull tricks or whatever. If it's for you, it will be there. And so it's an amazing thing. It's already blessed. It's already blessed. Because when God lays it out like that, you can't deny it. That's what it is. It's already blessed. And so I just say hats off to you. I'm looking for so many big things from you. But I do, before we get off of this discussion, I do want you both to give a word of advice to those who are young people who want to be entrepreneurs and people who are already that, and it just doesn't seem to be working as they think it should. Can you both give some type of inspiration or word of encouragement? Who's going first?
I think yeah, went out while you was talking. But yeah, I'll go first. My words of encouragement is just
okay, we're back. We just gotta continue. Something happened technical wise, audience, but listen, it's raw and unedited, so it is what it is. Let's keep moving. Jahmori, weren't you telling your word of encouragement or inspiration?
yeah. So I was saying what helps for me is just coming up with a game plan, just achieve, like I said earlier, achieve definite aim, just something that, like, what you want your life to look like in the next 10 years, next 5 years, next year, next month, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just make small steps towards that, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, my thing is as long as I'm looking back and I'm looking at progress and not the other way, like, I'm moving where I want to go in the right direction. So yeah, that's what helps me.
Okay, what's your word of inspiration?
Okay. First and foremost, put God first. This is my personal. Put God first. Pray. I don't pray as much as I should, but I do believe in prayer and putting God first before everything. So that's first and foremost. Second, surround yourself with the people who are doing the things that you want to do.
That's big.
Put yourself, it's basically your network is your net worth, and your circle of influence is what's very important. Because if you're around 10 millionaires, you know the slogan, you'll become the 11th one. So what you want is surround. If you want to be a videographer, then you get on the internet like everybody else, and you do research, and you get around these people by any means, that the people that are doing the things that you're trying to accomplish. And,
right.
And you get around those people and you learn and you do whatever you got to do. Intern, you do stuff for free. Free work is valuable. Don't ever think that. A lot of people think that free work is because you bought something or you invested in something that you don't have to do something for free every now and then. No, free work is very valuable. You can. It's just all age. Sometimes I remember getting out here doing free work in exchange for knowledge, or free work in exchange for getting in touch with somebody else, or moving forward in my personal, the things that I'm trying to do. So like, make yourself valuable as well. Always make yourself valuable, because bring something to the table. If you know that this person is a videographer, then you go get you a camera and you tell them, hey, I come shoot for you for free. I got my own camera. bring something to the table, you know. So and you know, and that's in anything. If you'll do real estate, you know, you go get your license and you just bring something to the table, and even if it's just an able body, hey, I got a mindset, I got a skill, I know how to work, I know how to do something. Make yourself valuable and put yourselves in them circles and put God first, and you should be okay.
That's wonderful advice from two entrepreneurs who are doing, like I say, doing the thing. Yes, it's awesome advice. So take heed. If you are, I won't just say young, there's some older people who are trying to get started or want to walk into entrepreneurship. Wonderful advice. Put God first. Have some goals, you know, strategic goals, short-term and long-term goals, as Jahmori said. Also, surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Now, people who know me, my friends, they go somewhere. I don't sit around with people just stagnated. I don't. And I don't think these young men do either. You know, so you have to get around people who are doing something that inspires you to do better. Okay. So I think that those were wonderful points of advice. Now, can you both tell how they can reach you on your individual platforms and your collaborative platforms?
Well, you can follow me at Jaymodejon. This is on everything. JAYMODEJON. And of course, you can follow our thing, Harp Season, at Harp Season Official. That's HARPSZN Official. Yeah.
You can follow me at DJ_Westside on our platforms. And you know, what is Harp Season Official, of course. And our new business that we didn't really get a chance to talk about, whole family.
Oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about it before we go. Say a little something there so we can. Me
and J-Mo got with a few of our friends. We just came up with Whole Family Real Estate. It's a business now. We'll be trying to get out here and, you know, flip houses and basically take people up on our wings, just teach them real estate, teach them tactics to make flips, and to how to find deals, how to broker the deals, how to close the deals. We'll be doing that type of training and everything within our company. So, yeah.
Okay, so when is the studio opening now? When do these people need to contact you if they want to rent out a spot? How can they do all that? When do they need to have that done?
We're still working on the studio. We're almost done. We're probably about 80% done. We'll be opening hopefully mid-January. And you know, Westside, it's Westside Studios ATL@gmail. You know, you can email that. We're looking for interns right now. We're looking for people to come work. Looking for you know, staff. So just, you know, reach out to us individually or as a collective, either way. And you know, we both will get back with you as soon as possible.
All right, now y'all heard that. I'm trying to get y'all in early. Audience, they're on the move, and if you're on the move, now don't hook up with them if you're not on the move. Don't come over there with no crap. Now, if you're not on the move, stay on back where you are. But if you're progressive and you want to do some things, come on and reach out to them. They can be reached, as they have already said. And like I say every week, if you want to be a part of this discussion, reach out to me at Dr. Marcy's Connections. You can just Google it, or you can email me at drmarcyts@gmail.com, or you can come on and join the Connecting Point for Creators group on Facebook. We have now close to 400 members. They're creatives of all kinds. It's just a community of creators who are progressive, and we win. We claim that we win at whatever we put our hands to. So if you want to be a part of something like that, these gentlemen are as well. Look us up on Facebook. We would love to have you. Iron sharpens iron. You might meet somebody in there that you can collaborate with to do great things. So until we get this moment again, peace and blessings. You can see this on Tuesday nights. Well, y'all know what? It stopped again. So, hey, you can see this on Tuesday nights at Instagram TV. You can see it on YouTube. And now you can see it on Wednesday nights on KBCN TV at 7 p.m. So, peace and blessing, audience. We'll see you the next time. Thank you again, guys.